Offset Telecaster.
Hey everyone. Hey everybody, welcome back to Working Class Music. I'm your host Tia.
I'm also Tia.
We've got a guest.
And I'm your guest, Tia.
Nice. Today you will be seeing duplicates. You see triple and now you see double. So today we will be reviewing Fender/Squiers Offset Telecasters. One is made in Japan, the other is made in China. One is part of the limited edition, I guess it was just a limited edition Offset Tele made in Japan. Daphne Blue? Up for debate. Made in China, Paranormal Series Offset Telecaster. Obviously, Olympic White. So essentially we'll be reviewing some of the similarities and differences between these two guitars to help you decide which would maybe better suit your needs / price range,
Yep.
You know, just depending on your taste. If you're looking at one, you probably looked at the other. What is worth buying and what is worth passing on? That's what we're here to answer. Also, something to note, both of these guitars feature the 3 vintage saddle styles with the string-through body. So, again, nearly identical. Onto the specs.
Thin D-shaped neck, 21 frets, alder with a rosewood board, maple neck. I don't want to say this is Daphne Blue, but it's listed as Daphne Blue, but my eyes see some kind of white / Daphne Blue. Other than that, you have the proprietary pickups, a 3-way switch, volume and tone.
In this corner, we have the Squier Paranormal Series Offset Telecaster, 25.5 scale length neck, vintage style tuners, Fender Alnico pickups for the Squier series, 3-way selector switch, master tone, master volume, and again the same 3 saddle vintage style string through bridge tailpiece system. Like I said, nearly identical outside of the country of origin. Obviously, actual rosewood instead of Pau Ferro. That nonsense.
Yeah.
I know that's like a non-issue. I just feel like Pau Ferro feels kind of scratchy, and I don't like it.
I don't like Pau Ferro.
I would choose maple over Pau Ferro, but I will choose rosewood over maple any day.
Save that for the end.
Yeah.
All right.
On to the sound. So for the folks at home, this is Jason and Cody's first time playing either guitar. I'm the one who brought both.
Party foul.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
I'm waiting for you to move your hand. So Jason and Cody, this is their first time playing both of these guitars. I'm the one who brought both of these. I already have my opinions on both. So I'm really curious about how y'all are gonna feel about these.
Bridge pickup. Drive bridge position.
Thank you.
right, final thoughts and first impressions. I'm going to go first since this is fresh on my mind, if you guys don't mind.
Sure.
I'm going to be honest. Maybe it's the otaku in me, but I gravitated towards the Japanese one. Maybe it's the rosewood. I don't know. For me, it was perfect for an Offset Telecaster, and in my head I was comparing it to the Magnificent 7 that I had years ago, and that one was just perfect, but this was like that on steroids. So I really do like that one. The only downside is that finish. That's the only downside for me, is the finish. Overall, it's emo machine madness, so it gets the working class music emo seal of approval. All the American football haters be damned. So, but on to this. This is awesome. Again, I was saying off camera, my first experience with the Squier one was with the Okume mahogany looking one that was released previously, and that one was kind of dead on arrival, so I wasn't really the biggest fan. But this and the butterscotch one that I played, phenomenal. Now, the Squier Paranormal series has just been great in general. I do like the neck shape. Squiers tend to have a bit thinner neck shapes, but that one was just thick enough. The pickups, what the fuck is Fender doing? Because the pickups in these are amazing. Like, for me, at home, I have a slightly different perspective because I'm right next to the amp. So when the neck pickup was on, I could feel the bass response on it. And I was like, holy crap, like, this is awesome. I might say this might be the best out of the Paranormal series, and even want some of the classic vibes. Maybe we'll get around to doing a Squier ranking episode, but this would definitely be at least top 5. Yeah, I can't say enough great things about it. Now, my final thought, even though I gravitated towards that one, what's the price on that one again?
So that was a little bit of a headache to try to find out, because as you may or may not know, these are a Japan exclusive, so you will have to pay to have it shipped from Japan. So because of that, the prices varied. I've seen some used for just about $1,000. I've seen some for $1,500, but the retail is supposed to be $1,299.
Okay.
So give or take $100, $150 for that extra shipping, because distance.
So about round it out, like, because I know these are about
Those are $450.
$450. So about, let's round it out and just say 2 times the cost of that one. I think this hangs with that no problem. Do I think that's 2 times the cost of this? If I'm being honest, no. I think I enjoyed both. And, you know, me being a big Squier person, and I don't say this lightly, even though you can probably quote me in every other videos, I would not change the pickups in these if it were me. I think they sound great. They're very articulate and very punchy. Again, if you are looking at either one, if you have the money, by all means. But I personally don't think that's like 2 times worth the cost of this. The rosewood kind of throws a wrench in that, because unless you look up like the old American Magnificent 7, which I'm pretty sure that one was rosewood, or any other made in Japan, you can't get rosewood. So
outside of like artist signatures, I think the Chrissy Hine and the Jag Sting are made in Mexico but do feature rosewood. But if you're just looking for an off-the-wall non-signature, Japan or America is really where your Fenders are going to have rosewood.
Yeah, so in short, to sum up my little rant, I like both, and I was pleasantly surprised. The craftsmanship on the Squiers, especially the Paranormal, has been top notch. And just look at any of our other videos about any of the anything from the Paranormal series has been top notch. And I would say this is one instrument that if Squier wanted to charge $600 for, I would be like, all right, I believe it. You know, I believe it. And that's not a diss at the anniversary series. Just saying, this is one instrument that if they wanted to charge more money for, they can get away with it. So that's my thoughts.
Cody?
Okay, so I didn't know I was doing this video today, so I think that this might be the coldest, kind of comparison that I've ever been a part of, just coming in straight and being handed 2 guitars without doing any research or anything ahead of time. I will agree with you when it comes to the rosewood fretboard. I think that kind of throws a wrench into it a little bit, because I will say that the neck felt great, but the finish on a maple fretboard like that, like a high gloss finish, always throws my hands off a little bit. So I will say that, but That's not really a knock towards this particular guitar. I think that most manufacturers that are building maple necks right now are doing that, unless you go, you know, with like the roasted or, you know, something that's sanded or something like that. That said, playing these two back to back was very interesting because I was fully expecting to kind of go into it noticing a big difference. I didn't. I've got a Squier Classic Vibe, we were talking about that earlier, that I love. And so I know that Squier is doing some really cool things with all of the guitars they're putting out right now, but I was still expecting to notice more of a difference than I wound up noticing. And again, the only real difference in terms of the playability had more to do with the fretboard than it did anything like craftsmanship or difficulty in playing. One thing that I was curious about, I don't know if you know the answer to this, is whether they use different fret sizes for this one versus that, or whether the rosewood was just kind of throwing me off.
So I'm glad that you asked because I forgot to mention that when we were running through the specs. So that has the narrow tall frets.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, that does give a different feel.
Yeah. I think that's just a personal preference. That's nothing for or against the Squier versus this. But I'm glad I'm not going crazy.
No, you're spot on. I didn't even.
Okay. Well, cool. I mean, you know, if someone were to say to me, hey, you've got, you know, a budget for this tour that we're going on and we're all playing Offset for whatever reason, I would probably go with that and use more of the budget towards other things because I didn't really pick out the possibly $800-ish difference between these.
Yeah. So I wanted to go last because I've actually had this guitar for maybe 3-4 weeks now, and I bought it with the intention of trading in my Telecaster. But the moment I unboxed it, I don't want to say I was disappointed, but I literally thought of that guitar while I was playing it because I was like, this feels like a Squier. Like, this feels like the nicer, like one of the nicer Squiers, I should say. So I was like, we should do a comparison because I'm astonished by kind of how Cody said there isn't just a huge night and day difference between the two. I was like really hoping, because I love Fenders that are made in Japan. The build quality is excellent, they sound great, they're always comfortable. Like, it's just something about the neck shape is just different from what you would get from a Squier or you know, any of the made in Mexico Fenders or even from the American ones. Like, the neck just feels different. And I was really hoping to just instantly fall in love with this guitar. I like it, but I don't love it. Let me rephrase that. I like it, but I don't love it for the price. Because if this was like roughly maybe $800, $900 in a heartbeat, yeah, sure. But for what I paid for it, no. If I'm being quite honest, I feel like the Squier, with it being what, a third of the cost roughly, if we're gonna go from, you know, the price of tax and shipping on this, I could have bought all 3 finishes for the price of this one guitar, and I feel like I would not have missed out on much. Yes, I love rosewood. I prefer it over maple. Yes, to me those pickups sounded better, but that's when you're talking about something that's 3 times the price of something that also exists and is serving a similar, if not the exact same purpose. To me, it just makes more sense to go with the Squier. And I did not think I was going to feel that way, but ultimately, here we are. For that $12.99 price tag, this is nice, but I prefer, what is it, the JV models of like the Strats and the Tellies. Unfortunately, no offsets, but to me, those felt and sounded much, much better than this. Again, I like this, I don't love this. For the price, I really, really like this.
Can I add on? Just the looks of these, like, it's a classic Olympic white with a torque guard, and to be honest with you, this is the best combination I've seen in a while. As a Squier aficionado, especially looking at the offset stuff like the Jazzmasters, don't look as good as this as far as the finished job. Also, one thing I want to throw out, since we're on this episode, I think what I'm going to do is buy the FSR version that Anderton has with the wide range humbucker in the neck, because I think that would be a good follow-up review to this. Let me know what you think in the comments.
Yeah, if you want to see that, let us know.
Could I hop in and ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
Because it sounds like both of you came into this with sort of a, you know, you had this one in your brain, I guess, when you got this, and you had the 7 in your brain when you played both of these. If you came at this cold, let's say that we live in a universe where this doesn't exist.
Okay,
I don't know if you just kind of do your best to separate that out. What would be your opinion on the $1,300 price tag playing this just cold?
So even with that, like, I feel like it's still really tough because I've been spoiled by working at big box music store for so many years and getting a discount and like knowing for what price I can get what piece of gear. And even with that $12.99 price tag, that would still be a really big maybe, not a flat out no. But again, if it was closer to like maybe 8, 9, or even just creeping up on 1,000, that'd be a hard maybe.
Okay.
Like that would be something that I would probably save my money up towards and possibly buying. I'm a fan of offsets, I'm a fan of tellies. This would still be a hard maybe. It wasn't until I actually unboxed this and placed it next to my Strat, trying to see how blue this is in comparison, that it had dawned to me that I'd been listening to a lot of Trico. And for the folks at home, their guitar player plays a white Strat with a black pickguard, and their singer plays an Offset Telly with a rosewood fingerboard. And so maybe I was just like, yeah, I indirectly just wanted that look and sound. Again, if I didn't have my telly, if I've never played this one, and this was the option, being a fan of their music, liking that sound, and also wanting a telly in my lineup at all times, still a hard maybe, but not a definite yes.
And I think that says a lot because, oh yeah, sorry.
Actually, because I wanted to say this before I forget, to add on to what Tia was saying, in a parallel universe, or Earth 2 or 3, where Squier does not exist.
Let's be honest, we are Earth like 3 or 4.
Oh yeah, we fucked up. We are not perfect.
We are not number 1.
But yeah, oh no, we're America, damn it. We're number 1. To throw kind of a different wrench or a different approach, for $12.99, I wouldn't pick that. I would pick the Jazzmaster Telecaster that we previously reviewed. I think, like, even being a big Offset fan, that guitar just played, and like for $12.99, that guitar is a yes. That guitar, no. If I'm gonna be real, it's not for $12.99. For like T was saying, like $10.99 maybe, like $9.99.
Personally, I'm pushing it with $9.99. Also, hey Nelson, can you toss the gig bag? Because I think that's another thing that kind of, I don't want to say was disappointing about it, but like the gig bag that it comes with, yeah. I would rather carry a guitar in tissue paper. No, I'm kidding. But in all honesty, like for the amount of money that you're spending, and I don't mean to be that person, but like even like the Player Plus stuff comes with that more standard, thicker Fender gig bag than like this. And I don't know, like I get that they have to cut costs some way to keep the quality high, but to me that at that price point it is still lackluster. If you could pick one up used,
yeah.
If you could pick one up used for a really good deal, hell yes, every day, all day. We are here talking about the mono gig bag in collaboration with Feat.Cody. Obviously, it's a mono bag. It's super durable. You can throw this off a roof or not. Don't sue me if you break your guitar. This thing is really durable. It's really lightweight, super portable, and it's got flashy art. Probably my favorite feature outside of the art is just how your guitar fits in. So unlike traditional cases, you're not pulling all the way down. You just kind of go to this kind of halfway point, kind of 3/4 point down here, and you pull it out. If you want to see the inside, super like sturdy, like I guess foam. I don't know, because it's not like down here it's more like a foam, up here more like a hard plastic. It's really thick padding. So if you're like me and you're a little clumsy and you tend to drop your guitars in parking lots, it's very specific. It happened once, the guitar was fine because these bags are so durable. Cool. Thank you, Mono, and thank you, Feat.Cody. Like I said, on the high end, I saw someone asking $15 for that. That would be a hard no.
I think my main gripes with it is I do think there are better options for the same price.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. I guess with that being said, tell us what you think in the comments. If you've played one or both of these, please let us know how you felt and what your opinions and thoughts on both or just one of these guitars is, because I'm very curious about what other people have to say if you've been lucky enough to have the opportunity to play both.
Let me add on to that. Our friend Emily from Get Offset has a really awesome review on the first gen of these.
Yeah.
I would definitely implore you to check that out.
Yeah, give that a look, give that a listen. Mm-hmm. Maybe a nice comment or two.
Yeah. So with that said, thanks to Cody for joining us on this, because we definitely
we just kind of threw you into it.
we just threw you into the deep end.
Well, thanks for having me. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I haven't gotten to play either of these at any point. You know, the closest I've gotten to them is looking at them on the internet, so this was a lot of fun.
And if you are interested in the Squier version, our Sweetwater affiliate link, just throwing that out there.
Comes in shell pink.
Comes in shell pink, and there's the butterscotch. Looks
blonde.
Amazing. Patreon,
Socials,
merch.
You know the deal.
Yeah, like, subscribe. But Cody.
Well, again, thank you guys for having me. I feel like I've said this in a couple of your videos so far, so I'll just make this short and sweet. I also have a YouTube channel that focuses more on, you know, country and Americana, thumb style playing, that type of thing. Everything from Earl Travis, Chet Atkins to Tommy Emmanuel, and then chicken picking as well. So if that's something that interests you, just search for my name. Hopefully there's a link down below, but if not, just Cody, C-O-D-Y, Jung, J-U-N-G, guitar. If you search for that in YouTube, I should be the only one that pops up. And let me know what you think. Thank you guys again for having me.
All right. Laters.
Adios.
Thank you.